As you can see, health specialist Beatrice Politi joins us now for Health News. And we hear Toronto scientists are working on a huge international project that's going to help a wide variety of patients.
They're trying to build a brain.
Wow.
Yeah, a virtual brain, one that would mimic the patterns of brain activity. Now, we have about 100 billion brain cells connected to thousands of neurons which are firing all the time. And it's when those connections break down that we see problems.
So it's actually firing every 2 or 3 milliseconds. Each one of these units are firing on and off.
This is what your brain might look like at rest. And even while chilling out, it is awfully busy.
There is some repetition and there is some coordination amongst these different regions, which is reinforcing the fact that, that these areas are actually talking to one another constantly.
It's uncovering, mapping, and understanding those patterns that is key to what's being called the virtual brain, a multi-million-dollar international project. It's intended to model how a normal brain works so that we might know how better to fix it.
Both in diagnosis of early disease. It would help us with prognosis. So for example, we can understand how the stroke compromises the connections and then say what connections might be facilitated to help that person recover, and then potentially also use the virtual brain to track recovery.
Knowing how a healthy brain works and what it looks like as it ages or with a condition like Alzheimer's, for example, may be able to help doctors tell whether a drug or a therapy is helping a patient.
It might be a way of indicating that there is something subtle that's not working. Understanding how things might change over time, whether interventions are slowing down a process of decline, and perhaps even modeling interventions that may help the networks to compensate, if not recover.
Brain diseases aren't the only applications. It could help figure out what kind of response you'll have to a drug.
We may be able to then say, okay, well, for 80% of people, this approach or this drug may have this effect, but actually maybe in 20% there may be this other brain pathway that's affected, and that will give us clues into things like side effects.
The Virtual Brain Project is a 10-year project, which is currently in its 7th year. Researchers estimate it'll likely take another $10 million, in addition to the $7.5 that they already have, to get the brain to a place where doctors can actually use it to help patients.
Okay, so 3/4 of the way there.
3/4.
All right, thank you, Bea.
You're welcome.